Whoa. If you're like most people, they wake up like completely sleepy, demotivated, uninspired, and just lacking energy. If that's you, this video is definitely gonna help. Perhaps you're just sick of going to work and finding that those barrage of like coworkers or the boss or those problems that you had the day before just keep owning you. Or perhaps you run your own business and those challenges that you keep facing keep overwhelming you and burying you, and the next challenge keeps popping up. You have no idea what to do. Let me help you. I promise this lesson will really kickstart your life. In fact, I am so adamant that this practice will change your energy levels. It'll bring a whole level of enthusiasm to your life you've never felt before. And I really believe it's going to be the catalyst for huge growth. And it's so simple that most people miss it. You see, you already have a morning routine in place, and that doesn't just mean you wake up, get dressed, and go to work. Perhaps you have a coffee, or maybe you watch the news, or there's some sort of habit you're involved in. And what I'm going to say to you is it's time to be a bit more strategic. It's time to think about what are some of the best activities you can do first thing when you get up that will set your day up so you no longer become a plaything for other people, for the coworker, the boss, the traffic jam on the way to work. None of those things will have as much of an impact on you, on how you feel and how you sort of respond to the world if you set your day up right. It just arms you, it fully equips you, and nothing can replace it. So here we go. I'm going to show you the best way to start your day. This comes from my own trial and error and what I actually practice. And it also comes from looking at some of the high performers in life, some of the people in the sporting world to the business world. And everybody has a different pattern or different thing or way they start the day. But what I found is that people have common traits. And so what I did is I disassembled and I sort of decompartmentalized what they did and how they set their day up. And it all falls under certain categories of what they do to prime their mind for ultimate success in that day. And you may be doing one or two of these things, and if you are, that's awesome. Perhaps I can add a couple of more layers to this that will help you. Now, guess what? This will be all in under 20 to 30 minutes. So you don't need to spend an hour and a half. I mean, someone said the other day to me, it's like, who has an hour to do all this stuff before work? Listen, you can take 15 minutes and your day will be yours. You'll freaking own it. So here we go. This is what we do, and this is what I love to do each day. And I found it's really made a tremendous difference to my energy. And the next thing is this. Not only has my energy been better, but I found that the habit of doing this has made my body feel tremendously different. And I dance 6 hours every day. Well, I mean, I might have the weekend off, but generally I might be competing or traveling for lessons or doing something that is related to my industry, which is ballroom dancing, and we compete at the highest level. So my body is really undergoing tremendous amounts of stress, muscular, nervous, emotional, mental. And so I found that if I get my 8 hours of sleep every day, and 6 to 8 is sort of around the best practice, sometimes it might need to be a little bit more, I still find that if I set my day up right, I have now primed the day, so no matter how much training's involved or how much lessons I have to do or how many people I have to coach within my business or the seminars I have to give or attend or the marketing I have to prepare, I'm ready and I can take on those challenges at my highest level. So these are the best practices. I'm going to recommend that you follow these. Now there are 5 steps that you're going to use, and you can alter the time as much as you like. But the first thing to do, as soon as you get out of bed, when your feet hit the floor, the snooze button's gone off, bang, you get up, is stretch. I cannot overstate this enough. You must stretch the body. And what I mean by that is there's an app called Sworkit. There'll be a link here somewhere you can click to check it out. Sworkit, Sworkit. Now, what I love about this app is it gives you a 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute, 20-minute, 30-minute, depending on your time frame, activity that you can follow an exercise regime in stretching, yoga, cardio, or strength training. Now, what I like to do is 5 minutes of stretching. So I'll put that on, do the 5 minutes, even if I'm in my pajamas or I'm like crawling out of my bed to the floor because I've had a massive day the day before, I'll like crawl in there and I'll just start stretching. I found getting the blood going, the oxygen going feels great. The next thing I do is strength training. So on the same app, I'll find the core strength or something specific like maybe upper body strength or lower body strength, another 5 minutes. I won't do an hour at the gym. I actually virtually quit my gym membership because of this app, because I can do 5 minutes of stretching, 5 minutes of strength training just on a specific body part. Bang, that's all I need to do. And I love doing that. The next thing I do, the third thing, is study. Now, what do I mean by study? Well, there's audiobooks, there's podcasts, or there's literally the physical old school thing called a book. And what I will do is after that 10 minutes, I will read a chapter of a book, or I'll just read a page, whatever the time I want to give it. Or as I'm doing my exercises, I will listen to an audiobook on personal development, or how to improve my business, or my sales, or relationship. Or I'll listen to a podcast. So I'm sort of killing two birds with one stone. I'm getting pumped up for the day mentally, as well as working and oxygenating my body physically. And I found that first 15 minutes, man, does it get going. I mean, I'm pretty much really tired when I first wake up. But what I found from stretching is straight away, I start to get that blood going and I start to really re-energize and wake up in that moment. Now, when the 15th minute comes along, when I've done that sort of study, the audio program, or I'm listening to that, I might continue to listen to that. But then what I do is I sit and I think, I strategize. So the fourth step is strategizing. Now, strategizing is very simple. I look at a to-do list that I have on the whiteboard at my home, where it is ever growing. It's a huge to-do list that keeps growing every day because I keep coming up with ideas and things to do. And what I aim to do is find the 20% that's going to make the 80% in my life move forward. And most people get this backwards. They're inundated and focused on the 80% of nothing, like the small menial tasks that just get the day by, that just get the work done, but not at the highest level. And what I do is I strategize, I sit back and think, okay, my time is pretty much chunked out in the day. It's limited no matter who you are, it's always going to be limited. So what is the best use of my time? What is the 20% of the activities I do that can make 80% of my results and my future goals come faster? And when I figure that out, I write it down. Now, then the fifth thing I do to really prime my mind, to really get me going for the day after my body's feeling better and I've learned a lesson or two, I'm like, that's a good thing, I'm going to put that into practice today, is gratituding. Gratituding, I cannot express this enough. This is the thing that's going to put you in the state of being where it's like nothing else. You're just feeling grateful. You're not saying to yourself you're grateful, you're emotionally grateful and you're feeling ready for the day. And what I like to be grateful for and what I like to write down is generally around three things. One is for the goals that are coming to me, one is for things that I have in my life currently, and one is for forgiveness or letting go of people who've done wrong by me in the past or a recent transgression, wherever that could be. And I find those three are very powerful to be grateful for and not to harbor any ill will towards anyone or anything. Now, I generally write those down, and often I can look back at them through the day, or I'll just write it once and just leave it there, and the exercise is done. But it's a good practice to keep it with you until this becomes the way you live. That gratituding primes your day. Now, the key is with this is to carve out the time for yourself. You owe it to yourself, your family, the job you're doing, the workplace you work in, to be A game all the time. You might need to get up half an hour earlier than you're used to. Well, guess what? Just go to bed half an hour earlier. The key is, though, carve the time out for yourself. Try to do it when no one else is awake in the house, before anyone can disturb you. Use this for you time. I promise you, by the time everyone gets up, you are just going to be in such a different state. Now, here's a caveat or a warning. The first week you do this, the first 2 or 3 days are going to be hard. That's where your brain is going to say, stop doing this, go back to bed, get in that cozy bed, go snuggle or whatever. Or it's just going to say, go to the shower and get to work. Trust me on this. Get up, do the work. After 4 or 5 days, you're going to feel so tremendously different. And then guess what? It starts to become a small habit. Now, after 30 days of doing this, it's definitely becoming a habit. If you miss a day of this routine, then you need to start the clock again for the next 30 days. Challenge yourself to do it for the next month. But I know following those 5 steps was through stretching, strength, we had study, then we strategized, and then last one was gratituding. With those 5 elements in place, you can vary that between 15 to 30 minutes a day. You will set up your day like you've never felt before. And if you've already been doing this, that's awesome. What can you do a little bit better? What can you tweak? Perhaps that app will just change everything for you like it did for me. No longer do I have to spend an hour and a half to get to the gym and to go and do all that jazz. I just get it done. I feel good for it. I feel primed, and then I'm ready to go and tackle my day. I really hope this serves you, and those 5 things you can do to start the best day of your life in under 20 to 30 minutes. I know it will help. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you and your experiences and maybe what you do to really prime your day. This is Vaughan Liddicoat. Make sure you subscribe below for more free training, and I look forward to seeing you in the next training videos.